This is Andy Parole for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. And for a change, I'm not joined by Johnny Nelson eating. How you doing, Johnny?
I've just finished eating, that's why. They must think I'm always eating. I'm good, thank you, I'm good.
It's good to hear. Obviously, we're down here today for the final leg of the Joshua Ruiz 2 media tour. What have you made of the journeys that they've made from Saudi Arabia to New York and now to London, and the impact it could have in regards to the beginning of their camps?
You know, Eddie Hearn referred to Ali and Foreman fighting each other, where it was in the world, the political interest in it, you know, everybody's opinion of where it was and how it was. And I thought it was a good analogy because it was something that was never seen. Again, this is something we've never seen. We're going to learn along the way. At the end of the day, if you cut everything away, it's two guys getting in the ring to fight and them getting their job done. So everything else around that, we just got to focus on what's happening in the ring. And the ring can be anywhere in the world. And that's what a true fighter, a true champion is. He can fight anywhere, win anywhere, regardless of what's happening outside the ring.
What have you made of AJ's approach this time round? He's obviously seemed to just maybe come out of his shell a bit more and allowed himself to talk a bit more freely. What have you made of that approach in comparison to the AJ we've seen of previous?
I totally get that and I totally like that. I think AJ had probably had his reins on up to this point. Now he's seen the good and bad side of people. He's seen lovers turn to haters. He's heard negative things as well as positive things about him, and so it makes you pretty human. It makes you think, wow, now is this how people can be? So now he's thinking, all right, then if you can be how you can be, I'm going to be how I want to be. Now this is about me, and I'm quite sure he'll be hurt by some of the things that are being said by people. But also in saying that, it's also, I think it's instilled him to giving him a bit more bite, a bit more drive, a bit more ambition. And I actually like this. I actually like this form of Anthony Joshua because now we're going to get a rugged version of him when he gets out there. And we'll hear him when he talks. We'll hear him when he gets close to the fight. And he doesn't have to be rude. You don't have to be nasty. You don't have to be horrible. You can just say, listen, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm dealing with. So I'm looking forward to this.
Now, on the other side of the coin, Andrew Ruiz Jr., prior to the first bout, people were comparing him to a bit of a fan with regards to his going onto the stage, asking to have a photo with the belt, etc. Kind of people were saying that he come across as if he couldn't believe his luck that he got the opportunity. And since he's won the belts, we've seen some posts of the luxurious things he's been able to buy, etc. And rightly so, he's obviously deserved that right to be able to do that. But the comparison with regards to the attitudes, are you surprised that maybe Andrew Ruiz has taken that side to it this time round, or would you maybe expect him to rope it back in a bit when the fight gets closer?
Well, no matter what, no matter who you are or how you try and pretend or portray yourself to be, unless you're born into wealth, you understand how to deal with it. You understand it becomes like walking, talking, very natural. Everything around you, your riches, your wealth, your cars, your houses, become very natural to you. If all of a sudden it's thrust upon you, all of a sudden it's there in one shot, no matter who you are, you cannot tell me it's not going to make a difference to your mindset. Because all of a sudden you're thinking, wow, this is mine. I've not borrowed it, it's mine. This is mine, this is mine. I can do what I want, go where I want, say what I want. And so, and I think, you're looking at Anthony Joshua, I think this has contributed to him losing to Andy Ruiz, because that lion, that hungry tiger, that always went into a fight with that I want. You can see he dropped the ball when it comes to boxing Ruiz, and he made a vital mistake, which is done by many professionals, not just Anthony Joshua. Now Andy Ruiz is in that position where he's amassed wealth, he's amassed status, he's amassed things we only dream of. The question is, can he still stay hungry and focused and determined and dogged as he was before all of this? Because life's now changed. His personal life, not the public life when we see him boxing in the ring, his personal life, the life for him, his wife, his kids, his mother, everybody that's related to him, life has now become more secure. And that's when all of a sudden, that's when you lose, or you're in danger of losing that drive. And that's human nature. So this will be a test of character for Andrew Ruiz, because everything's changed for him. The only thing that's changed for Anthony Joshua is he's no longer champion. He's still a wealthy man. He's been a wealthy man for past 3 or 4 years, however long. So he's had to get used to it and made a mistake through it. It's just a case of it's a case of Andy Ruiz's character. He seemed like a level-headed individual, but it just reminds me of the story of when Sugar Ray Leonard boxed with Roberto Duran the first time, and Leonard said he didn't want to know boxing after that. He just broke his heart, but he knew Roberto Duran was partying, lavishing in the great win he'd had, and all of a sudden he become, the king of the hill. And he said this guy was no longer as hungry as he was before we boxed each other, and the fight showed that. It's human nature. So I just think this is going to tell so many stories as each day goes by, as this fight gets closer. It's going to tell so many stories, and it's going to reveal a lot about the two characters.
You make some interesting points there, but with regards to, you mentioned AJ is no longer the champion, that change in mindset, how significant do you think that's going to be? Do you think that could be the telling difference for Anthony Joshua on the night?
Massively. That's what I'm saying. You've got two types of fighters. You've got the hunters and the hunted. The hunters are the ones you've got to look out for because they're hungry. They know exactly what they want. From day one, when Anthony Joshua won that world title, any heavyweight in the world, in the planet that had ambitions to be world champions, were watching Anthony Joshua thinking, that's how we're being at. So they had like 3-4 years, however long he's had the title, to watch him and prep for him. He had 5 weeks to prep for Andy Ruiz. We met the week of the fight. I'm not making excuses for him. What I'm saying is he had to learn a vital lesson that all pros have to learn. You've got to always try and fight like a hungry man. And a champion that fights like a hungry champion stays champion. And it has been done. You've seen the Mayweathers do it. You've seen Ali done it. You've seen Fraser's done it. You've seen Sugar Ray Robinson do it. When at the top of the tree, they're still putting in amazing hungry performances. So that's what I'm saying. It will make a massive difference because his pride's hurt as well. And he knows what it's like. It's a flip of a coin, success and failure. And he's been on the side of success. Now he's on the side of failure thinking, I want to get back there again. I know exactly what it takes to get there. So now he'll know Andy Ruiz inside out. And this is the problem with Andy Ruiz. Because before that, unless you're into boxing, you didn't really know much about him. He just looked like a little fine Mexican. Now, everything, who is this guy? They'll be watching him. That's how you beat him. This is the responsibility of being a champion. Everybody starts looking at you as their next meal. And they're setting for you as their next meal. And you've got to be responsible, smart, and have the champion in you to deal with anybody and everybody that steps up to you.
I mean, with regards to AJ Ruiz, last time out, Ruiz only had 5 weeks to prepare for AJ. AJ obviously had the entire camp. Granted, he had to change everything over, his tactics, etc. But do you think a lot of people are kind of overlooking the fact that this time around, Andy Ruiz does have a full 12-week camp to prepare for Joshua?
That's what I'm saying. So now both fighters have the same amount of preparation time for each other. Even though AJ had the physical preparation, but not the mental preparation for Andy Ruiz, and Andy Ruiz had the mental preparation, not the physical, even though he'd just come out of camp. Now they are training for specifically each other. I think we're going to see a different type of fight. I think we're going to see. I know what I tell AJ to do in regards to fighting him. I know exactly how I tell him to fight him. I know what I tell Ruiz to do, but I think we're going to see a different type of fight because both fighters know what each fighter can do, each fighter possesses. Both fighters know what each's weaknesses are. So we're going to see I think it's going to be an intriguing fight. What a massive fight! It's the biggest fight in the world.
What does AJ have to do differently this time round?
He has to box smart, box boring. I know that sounds horrible. People don't want to hear that. He's got to use boxing ability and boxing skill. Use a jab, use a footwork, use old school boxing. He hasn't got that. He's only boxed 10 years. So I reckon that's all he's been concentrating on since the last fight. He's got to box, use a jab, use height, use his reach, use his slip, relax a little bit, drop the shots, parry the shots, time to counter the shots. But he's got to do it with a nice, smooth ease. Because it becomes predictable. Predictable's easy to beat. And Andy Ruiz showed that.
So do you think he needs to go back to similar style to how he fought Joseph Parker?
Similar. Take those tactics, but he's also got to be prepared to take on what is in front of him. If Ruiz puts it on him, he's got to be prepared to take it out, stay focused, step off, think, right, you ready yet? Boom, and be smart with it.
Now, obviously, since the fight's been announced, online there's been a lot of talk about the human rights over in Saudi Arabia, the way women are treated, etc. What do you make of it all?
Well, my old trainer Brendan Ingle used to say, sex, politics and religion or one thing you want to step away from. Everybody has an opinion, wrong or right. Everybody has a view, wrong or right. So on this one, I'm stepping out of this question, regardless of what my personal opinion is or isn't. This is, as far as I'm concerned, is nothing to do with boxing. I'm talking about two fighters in the ring when the bell goes.
Stepping away from this card then, Johnny, a fight which was announced, which is going to be hosted by Matchroom, KSI versus Logan Paul. What are your thoughts on it, Johnny?
Well, I was involved in the first one, and listen, it's good for boxing because these guys are putting boxing on the map. You know, they're getting young kids that wouldn't even be interested in boxing watching these two have a fight, have a boxing match. And so if 10% of those youngsters that are inspired by what they see, good for our game, good for our sport. This is why Matchroom's got involved in it. They didn't get involved in it the first time because they thought, really? Then they saw the success and the attention it drew, the revenue it drew, and they thought, you know what, we're missing a trick here. So it was a good fight, and for the level of fighters they were. But basically, you've got two novices that are going out there to get at it, you know, and then so it's going to be intriguing again.
There have been criticisms over social media and online because of firstly there was a clip going around of Eddie saying he had no interest in the fight. The first time round, I'm sure you'd have seen it, you know what I'm referring to. And people are just saying he's just looking to make a quick buck. And then also, do you actually see that there will be 10%, or not even 10%, but X amount of fans who will take a shine to the sport? Do you think?
Have a look at this. KSI and Logan Paul. Their media following is like 18 million, and the rest. Now, so their fans are going to watch them. Their fans. So I'm telling you, you cannot tell me you watch the sport of boxing, and out of all those people, nobody's going to be inspired and think, I want to get involved in that. I like boxing. I'm going to have a go at that. So it's all good for our game. And that's what you got to look at. It's good for our game either way. So business or pleasure, it's good for our game.
Another fighter to move away from that one, Callum Smith. A lot of rumours and reports. He's in talks with a few promoters over in America. If you was Eddie Hearn, would you be worried that he might leave?
Now, Callum Smith's going to do what's best for Callum Smith. Common sense for any fighter is you want to fight regularly. You want to have a path that you can follow to say, right, I'm fighting X, Y, this many times a year. I'm going to be in a position to box whoever. And the frustrating thing for fighters is you've got fighters and promoters. Promoters think business, fighters think with the heart. They just want to fight. I think Callum Smith will make the right decision, what's right for him. Without doubt, Eddie Hearn and Matchroom are the most successful, in my opinion, most successful outfit out there at the moment. And they're giving everybody opportunities. And I mean everybody opportunities. So if Callum Smith is not happy with that, then he's going to do what's best for him. I think he'll all get sorted out in the wash, and he'll go where he thinks his career will flourish even more.
And a couple of quick thoughts, just wanted to get your opinions on Thursday next weekend. Tyson Fury versus Otto Wallin. Your thoughts on that one, Johnny?
Tyson Fury, I think technically is the best technical heavyweight out there. So Tyson Fury, I think he again goes out, puts on a performance. He's not one of these fighters where he'll drop the ball. I think he'll go out there and get the job done. So good luck for Tyson Fury upwards and on.
I saw Jamie Moore yesterday and asked him this question. I know your allegiances are with Sky, but what fight do you see being bigger, Fury Wilder 2 or Joshua Ruiz 2?
Wow. Well, common sense would tell you Joshua Ruiz. The reason being is because Joshua got turned over. It shocked everybody. Look how much money it's generating. Look how much interest, media interest and financial interest it's attracted. So that kind of tells its own story. I think Fury Wilder 2, I'm so looking forward to. I think it's a massive fight. But you just got to look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. The numbers say all. That's just my opinion. I think as a fan, they both got their own story. You look at Joshua, it's intriguing. Can he do it again or is he done? You look at Fury's and Wilder, you think, can Fury turn him over? Will he get the decision this time? So they've both got the same their own story.
And finally, we've seen a lot this week of Errol Spence and Sean Porter. Licking your lips on that one, Johnny. What are your thoughts on it?
Errol Spence is such a slickster, and Sean Porter is the kind of guy that he will roughhouse you, make your life hellfire, and he's a hard man to handle. And if he's a Sean Porter that I saw box Kell when Kell was there on fire, it's going to be a hard fight for Spence. But Spence can box, and Spence can box well. I think he squeezes a messy points win.
Well, John Nelson, I know I've kept you long enough, so thanks for speaking to myself on Boxing Social.
Sweet, lovely.
Cheers, Johnny. Thank you.